What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode. This is the first episode of the newly named The Lead Wolf Show. And so, bro, I appreciate you being the first one on since I'm rebranding the pod, since I'm rebranding the show. I am your host, Michael Wolf. Today I got with me my boy Sean. I appreciate you doing this, bro.
Oh, no, man. I appreciate you, brother, for just bringing me on. And also love to see that you're back and recovered. And, yeah, we excited. I'm excited about the new season.
For sure. I appreciate that, bro. For y'all that don't know, I had surgery a few weeks ago. I had neck fusion surgery, so I was down for a few weeks. That's why y'all ain't been seeing the pod. But we back now, bro. You know what I'm saying? We jumping into it. Where you want to start, bro? You know what I'm saying? You got notes just like I got notes. What you want to do, bro? Where you want to start?
I love this. So this is how the lead wolf going to be, like, going forward.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dual type of thing.
Yeah, bro. Like,
use it with you.
For sure.
I like that. Oh, no, let's dive into, I know culturally, Memphis is a hot topic right now. So
yeah, for sure.
We can dive into that topic just of Memphis as a whole and let it grow from there.
Yeah. So specifically, we were talking about how Memphis has been in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're kind of part of that group of people, young people in Memphis that are trying to change their dynamic, trying to change their story. Mm-hmm. And just like, how can we highlight people in the city that are doing things that actually are contributing to the city moving forward and growing, instead of like, oh, Memphis is one of the worst cities in the U.S. for crime and this, that, and the third. Like, what do you feel like we could do differently, or is it a media thing?
Gotcha. I mean, so I for sure think it's a media thing. I think violence sells, especially with our culture. It's the hot topic. It's the thing to talk about. Mm-hmm. So when you're able to talk about violence in a aspect from looking into Memphis,
yeah,
it's the easiest thing to sell right now. Like, positivity in the city is something that I think is just a focal point right now. And then also, man, like, just to talk about it, I don't want to overlook the real challenges that some people go through in our city. And I think some of those areas are areas that we're from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from South Memphis. You, Whitehaven, Westwood area. I'm just saying, like, Westwood, and I went to school and even in East Memphis. Mm-hmm. Like, my parents, we lived in Camelot at one point in time. And so I think things can blossom out of those areas as well. Mm-hmm. But we also got to know the dynamic of how Memphis is set up. Whereas, like, a lot of those offenses and a lot of the dangers, and, they are targeted in certain areas.
Yeah.
For sure. I think what we're trying to do right now is just highlight the things that are positive about our city, the beautiful things that are happening in our city.
Yep.
And I think what we're fighting against is that Memphis is one of the last places that still have culture. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you have a very few. I think like New Orleans, Chicago, probably New York.
The Bay.
Yeah, in Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, where you can go there, it doesn't feel like a melting pot. These people are proud of where they come from.
For sure.
And we love it. Like, it's a relationship with it. And so I think it's finding how to highlight those things and also try to make our city better without quote unquote gentrifying it to a certain point.
And I do think a little bit is on us as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we have to, it's not going to help us for us to sit back and complain about it. You know what I mean? Like you just said, like, the violence and the bad news is what gets clicks. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a business or a person and that's all you care about, of course you're going to push that narrative because that's the lowest hanging fruit. That's the easiest thing for you to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's harder for you to go and find the groups and the people and the scene that isn't what is broadcasted. You know what I mean? Because people, aside from the violence, still want to come here and visit, and then they come and they have a good time and they like, damn, like, it's not what it's portrayed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, I'm taking pride in being a part of that wave that's showing or highlighting that we not all out here moving like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very educated people here. It's very beautiful people here. It's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? And successful people that's here. And it's not all what you see on the news. You know what I'm saying?
And we're the most, we're the like number one predominantly black city in America right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to think that 100% of us are doing just like outlandish things is kind of absurd. You know what I mean? I have a question though. How do you feel about the people who move away from the city and then it seems as though they actively talk bad about the city? Like, so they'll move away And it's like, man, they're the first come in on every single thing. They're going to talk bad about the city.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, so glad I moved away from there.
For sure.
How you feel about that?
I think, bro, you can have a love-hate relationship with the city for sure. And what I mean by that is when you come from a family or you have friends that aren't all from the same demographic of people, I think it gives you a beautiful, like, it gives you a bunch of different perspectives from the city. You know what I'm saying? I do think that some people come from a specific dynamic of family or friends from the city, and their reality when they were here might have been fucked up.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that they see.
Yeah, and so I understand where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I understand Memphis doesn't have a lot of resources. That's a real issue here. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the best school system. That's a real issue. So just like any other city, mid-tier city, we kind of are similar to like St. Louis. They got the same issues we got. You know what I'm saying? It's a small money market. Not a lot of jobs are there. Not a lot of companies are there. And so it's either hustle or work a fucking dead-end job. That's what it feel like. You know what I'm saying? And so if, like I said, if you come from a specific dynamic of the city, of course, your perspective is going to be what it is.
No, for sure.
So, I can't sit here and tell nobody what they experience ain't what, you know what I'm saying? Ain't reality. It's their reality. No, I don't agree. Sure. We don't agree, but it's a real perspective.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes back to the quote that like, the world is only as big as you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have relatives that only never left the porch or the block of Westwood.
Yeah.
That's their reality. That's what Memphis is for them.
For sure.
Whereas like with you and I, we're going to curated events. We're going to art shows. We're going to things at the Orpheum. We're going to, playoff games, and we're hosting these things, and we're having galas and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So what we see of the city is beyond just the little 690,000 people that they say reside in Memphis.
Yeah.
That they don't even include like, your North Mississippi's or your Germantown Colliervilles, your Atokas, your Arlington. All those people claim Memphis if they leave the spot. So if we really get the whole dynamic of what Memphis is, it's bigger than what is shown on the map, and it's bigger than what is talked about.
Yeah. I think part of what we just touched on is a lack of mentorship too. So my question to you is like, there are a lot of youth, especially, I don't want to leave out young black women because they need mentorship as well, but we are young black men.
Right.
Who do you lean on for mentorship, or who have you leaned on for mentorship when you were younger?
I mean, well, that would go straight to my father. Would be someone that I lean towards, but also just being surrounded by, I guess you can say, well-rounded men.
I want to stop you. How long did it take you to realize that you having an active dad was a privilege?
Oh, that's crazy. I think probably high school.
Yeah.
High school, just because I think in certain conversations, it can become braggadocious if you talk about your influences too much. Yeah. And my dad is the most influential person in my life. So I had to realize how to tailor my conversations around certain dynamics. Because certain guys can talk to me about, they're talking to me from an aspect of not having an active father around. Or they're talking to me where their father might have been around, but he's not doing the things that my dad did. Yeah. It's like my dad was around, but even though he disciplined me sternly, he explained out of love in the back end. Yeah. Or, he taught me without saying certain things. So he'd be like, hey, Sean, come do this with me. Yeah. So now when you come to my house, I'm going to tend to my yard. I'm going to wash my car. I'm going to balance my chick. It's certain things that I'm doing just because I saw that. Yeah. And he was teaching without telling me. Yeah. But really high school, bro, I started noticing a difference. And I think that's the level of when you start kind of developing what kind of man you're going to be, even at that early age. I think I subconsciously knew, but it took me to really become like an adult. And when I started dating and I see like how many women don't have relationships with their dad, or you grow up in conversations that you might not have had with a friend or a homeboy, and you realize how conflicted their relationship is with their dad. And I'm like, damn, like I non-braggadociously, I can't relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had like a relationship with my parents where we wasn't talking. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so it'd be people that haven't talked to their dad or mom in 5 years. I'm like, bro, I can't fathom that. It, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, that's so beyond my reality. Yeah, or I'm cutting my folks off. Or I ain't talking to them right now. It's like, I don't know. And maybe that stems from, man, when I was 5 years old, I actually processed my grandfather passing away.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing that my dad hid from me. He literally was like, Sean, you ain't gonna see your grandfather for a while. And he actually talked to me about what was happening.
Yeah.
And since he's the youngest of a large family, I actually saw like death and things of that nature up close and personal. I grew up with death.
Yeah.
So with growing up with that, I value life so much more. So with value life so much more, my relationships are completely different. The way I tend to relationships are different because the reality is the people that I'm surrounded by, in a blink of an eye can be gone.
Yeah.
Well, my reality is the resources, everything I have, something can happen and it can change.
Yeah.
And so I think just being able to like kind of understand what like life is and things of that nature kind of also gave me grace when people weren't in the same position as me to talk about their father the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was able to listen and just be like, man, you know what? Just be quiet and listen to them and hear what they have to say. But also use some of the things that my father gave me in those conversations as well.
Two things, bro. Two things that changed kind of my life in a sense was one is this Jordan Peterson book I was reading. One of the chapters is behave as if your father is already dead, and that perspective like a light bulb went off because I was like, okay, if my dad realistically, if he passed away today, like how much more responsibility do I gain the next day? And I was like, damn, like there's so much more I could be doing. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more I could be participating in. And then the other thing is like our uncles and shit, like they are getting older. We're the uncles. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, like that responsibility of I have to do father like shit. I have to do uncle like shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a whole new avenue of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like you get game from your uncles and your cousins. I got to be the one to hand down some game or some knowledge and help my cousins that are coming behind me and shit like that. And so it's like that awareness of responsibility like completely changed how I think.
Man, what's crazy is my pops had told me, he said, it was a quote he had said, and he was like, a lot of people want to fix their life up to leave a legacy. Not realizing that every day you're living is creating your legacy.
For sure.
So they kind of piggyback on when you're saying like, oh, we're the uncles now. It's like, man, what life am I living? What advice am I giving? Am I being what I would want, quote unquote, the uncle for me to be? Or like when I get to a certain age, what are my nephews going to say?
Yeah.
What they learned from me? Am I taking time, from that?
Yeah.
And secondly, my pops had talked to me about just when his father had passed so early. My grandfather was like 80 when he passed. My dad was 31 though, so they had him last.
Yeah.
So he was a young man, but his dad lived a full life. And he was just talking about how he was like, I don't want to die for you to fulfill like your potential. Like I don't want to have to pass away where you realize, I say I worship God, but in actuality, the first God I ever saw was my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
So it's more so to impress them, to do things for them. And it's like, no, I want you to honor me, but I want you to live your life. Yeah. To an aspect where it's like, is Sean doing things that make him happy? So most of the time when him and I have conversations, he's talking to me in an aspect of what make you happy or like how you feel about that. And he's gonna give me advice, but also he want me to make the decision. Yeah. And with that, now I'm starting to, man, just now at 31, I'm starting to get to the point where it's like, I'm doing this for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I'm making this decision for me. Yeah. And, they didn't raise us up until this point. So it's like, I'm not going to do anything outlandish that they don't approve of. Yeah. But now I'm at the point where it's like, and it's crazy. It took 30 years.
That is damn near like that's a dynamic that we don't talk about as people who have both parents in your life. It's like your decision making is completely different.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, I don't want to do anything that necessarily like shames my parents or do something that they don't approve of. Not necessarily shame, but something they might not necessarily rock with. And so you might think twice about doing something because you be like, all right, I don't know how they might feel about that. Right. And so sometimes they can hold us back. But once you finally get to that comfortability of be like, bruh, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Like the decisions I make, I got to live and die with that, not my parents. You feel what I'm saying? And then, but when you get that approval from them of like, hey, bro, do what you feel like doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. But at the end of the day, I approve of you doing whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a conversation with my dad, and the conversation was pretty much just like, I've taught you everything right from wrong up until this point. I trust your judgment. So whatever it is, even if I don't understand it at the time, I trust that you're making the decision from a sound place. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you just said, that getting to that perspective of like, all right, like, I can make man decisions now without thinking about what my parents think about it.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
And living with those decisions as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, nah, I agree.
What I don't want to necessarily say epiphany, but what newfound knowledge or ideas have you found since turning 30?
Oh, that's a good one. I think in my 20s with relationship building, I thought building relationships meant that I was making everyone happy.
Yeah.
While doing so, I was stressing myself out. I was building, I was creating things that I couldn't accomplish. So like, I think I saw a quote, and he said, I found out that ChatGPT showed me that I was scheduling my life terribly.
Yeah.
He said, I put all my scheduling in for ChatGPT, and I would say, hey, I need to finish this in the next 2 days. And ChatGPT would answer and be like,
it's impossible.
It's impossible for you to forget, for you to do these things.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, I feel like I was that. In my 20s, I put everything, I try to show up for everybody.
Yep.
I didn't say no to anyone, etc. And I'm realizing now that no creates a boundary, and boundaries are healthy.
Yeah.
When they're presented a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so me saying no now is just giving myself the opportunity to show up for the things necessary. So now, instead of me having 12 things, I have 5 things, and I can give my 100%, my undivided attention to those 5 things.
Yeah.
They're getting the best version of Sean now. Compared to when I was 20,
yeah.
If I gave 12 things 35%, I was cool with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least I showed up. At least this. And then
and that shit unfulfilling as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's trying to put out fires, you know what I'm saying, when the whole house is already on fire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, the fire extinguisher ain't gonna work. You feel what I'm saying? Exactly. And so it's like, it's tiring, you know what I'm saying? It's draining. So yeah.
No, it's for sure draining. And then also, I think the definition of like what a man is varies to individuals. But I always saw, and I learned this through therapy. Yeah. First of all, having an active relationship with like your parents and going to church, a lot of times people believe that they don't need to go to therapy.
For sure.
But then going to therapy is eye-opening because therapy doesn't correlate to I had trauma. It's just me talking about things so I can understand, you know, why I'm feeling certain emotions.
Yeah.
And so with that, I learned that by me not saying like no and trying to be there all the time, it was a learned experience I had because all the men in my life, they have told me that's just what men do. Yeah. Men show up. They, you know, you don't complain. You're going to, you know, exhaust yourself to the point that's like, I handled everything I need to do. Now I'm home. Yeah. And then I didn't realize that I was giving people mercy when they couldn't show up for me. But then the one time that I couldn't show up, when people was like, dang, Sean, you ain't no time, or dang, Sean, you didn't do this. I'm like, man, why you didn't give me the same grace or, you know, the mercy that I gave you when you couldn't? But then I learned that
you can't expect yourself from other people.
Right. But also I learned that there was still a form of, there was a toxic trait that I had adopted that I was making comfortable to receive. Yeah. When in actuality, I shouldn't even put people in a space to feel like they can have their control. It's like, if I said no to 6 of these things, I wouldn't be showing up late to the last one, or I wouldn't be giving you the bare minimum because now I didn't created the space where it's like, you know what, I can do this. Yeah. And I'm going to show up for these things. Yeah. And the right people in your life, they're going to understand that. You know, the right relationships, when you say no, they're still going to be around.
And there's definitely a sacrifice you make being the quote unquote strong friend. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how other people's friend groups operate or whatever, but typically there's only like 1, maybe 2 of those in a group, maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, shit, my homeboy called me the other day and he was like, bruh, I was with my family and they was talking about this and blah, blah, blah. And they was complaining about their experience. And they was like, or he was like, I've never heard you complain about this type of situation. And I was like, shit, it was fucked up for me too. I just suffered in silence. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, like, I'm the friend that my homeboys call on when something in trouble. I don't necessarily do that. Could I? Sure, probably. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I know my niggas know if they call me, I'm a show up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a level of a burden a little bit of being that kind of family member, friend, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you definitely have to pick your spots.
Bro, I had to ask God for forgiveness. I went out of town. Mm-hmm. When I went out of town for I went out of town for 6 days. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't answering the phone. I was detached from every responsibility that I had here.
I fuck with that. Heavy.
But listen to me.
Heavy.
When I got back to the city, it was so hard for me to switch it back on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how I answer the phone for everybody or how I'm there for everyone.
Yeah.
And so then in regard to that, I had to ask God for forgiveness because I was like, I don't want them responsibilities no more. Like, I literally was in a state of very, being selfish.
Yeah.
And I think the strong friend has to understand that, man, it's not a burden. I mean, it can be a burden in certain states. But also, I believe, man, it's a blessing to have their responsibility.
Yeah.
Because to have the mental fortitude to be able to be like, you know what, certain things I'm not going to even let people know I'm going through, or I don't present them the same way as my friends do, and they can always count on me. Mm-hmm. I do feel like we have purposes in life.
Yeah.
And that can be one of the purposes that you have.
Yeah, I was for sure gonna say being a strong friend has to come from a place of being genuine,
right?
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't think somebody could fake that, not for long.
No, you can talk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if you know that it's coming from a genuine place and it's genuinely how you feel about your friends, it's not a burden, but like you said, when you need those moments where you need to be selfish, not want to be selfish, you need to be selfish. Give me the same understanding that I give when you can't necessarily show up for me, or, you know what I'm saying, when I needed you to pick up the phone and you didn't. I ain't going to end the relationship over that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We all got shit going on. Mm-hmm. But like you said, when the shoe was on the other foot, give me that same love. You know what I'm saying? Give me that same grace. Do you feel like you have a good circle of friends around you?
I do. I think they have leveled out now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you go through like a growing pain phase with your friendships? You know what I'm saying? Where like me and this friend might be, I'm turning right, he turning left, and not necessarily we got anything wrong, but our paths are just splitting.
I think that I can wish you success, mm-hmm. and I can pray that you climb the ladder.
Yeah.
But your ladder might be different than mine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm growing and you're growing as well, we don't have to grow together. Mm-hmm. And I think growing up, I learned that. Because when you are in high school or even, like, early college or out of college, most of those relationships aren't chosen. Yeah. It's like we all, like, I like to hoop with this group of guys. So, therefore, if we like to hoop together and we like kind of the same fashion, we start saying we friends.
Yeah.
I see you every day, we friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we go to the same school, we have the same interests, we correlate it to friends. Mm-hmm. I think now we are out of the falling into, and we are in the decision making. Where it's like, now I'm looking at the friend group of like, do they have a relationship with God? Do that mean that they can't believe how I believe? Mm-hmm. No, it's just saying, you know, them are things that I would like, because majority of the things I'm talking about now is my relationship with God.
Yeah.
Do they see a future, you know, having a spouse and building a foundation and, you know, creating certain things?
Are our core values on the same page?
Exactly. And then when those things start aligning and then we get along, then I can say that it, you know, we can start building a friendship. Mm-hmm. But my definition of friendship is not always you're available to talk. We talk every day.
Yeah.
Some of my closest friends I haven't talked to in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But I feel like if something crazy happened,
mm-hmm.
I can call them. They can go check on my mama at a split second. It can be 2:30 in the morning. If I'm calling at 2:30 in the morning, they're going to answer the phone.
We for sure are getting to that age where it's like, I might not see you for, like you said, 2, 3, 4 months at a time, depending on what's going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, folks is married, folks got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff going on in the world. We live in different cities probably. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So, like, anything could happen. But like you said, having it that mutual respect as men specifically, I think you should be able to like withstand it. And I was just talking to somebody about how different female and male friendship dynamics are. And it's like, bro, some of this shit they be going through, it's like, bro, men just don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it don't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
Like, so even to piggyback, one of my closest friends, he got married. Mm-hmm. Two of my closest friends, they got married and they had 2 kids back to back. So one friend, he had 2 boys back to back, and my other friend had 2 girls back to back, and they're both married. Yeah. Right? Now, when all of us were single, we kicked it all the time. Mm-hmm. But that goes back to the grace aspect where it was like, man, these guys are married. Yeah. So I stopped calling them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling them for the same reasons. I'm calling to check in on your wife, the babies, see how your parents doing. Yeah. Because I care about you. Mm-hmm. Now that their kids are like 3 and 5 or 6 and 4. Yeah. They are coming back around more. Yeah. Because they have did the that first foundation of raising where it's like we're learning how to change diapers together and we're doing things where it's like I'm not available to go and get a drink with my boy because, I'm not going to leave my wife here. Yeah. But now they're the age where, my daughters can go to the mall with my wife. Mm-hmm. So I can call Sean and be like, hey, bro, I'm going to come over. You grilling today? Yeah. I'm going to come over there and, chop it up with you. Yeah. So I think it's having grace, knowing that in life, we all will have different seasons. Mm-hmm. And in those seasons, can I be a different friend for you in different seasons? I can't be the same friend in every season. For sure. Because you might have a season where you're up. In this season, I need to celebrate with you. Mm-hmm. But you might have a season when you're like, damn. Yeah. Can you call me and like vent? Can I pray for you? Can I be like, man, I know you're going through this, bro, but what you need? Yeah. How can I help you? How can I assist you? Yeah. You want to get into this career field? Who can I make a call for? Yeah. And it's like, that's what my definition of friendship is. It's being like, can I change while you're changing as well? Yeah. Like you just said, I think that being a friend in different seasons is something that is like extremely important. And I think that's damn near one of the reasons why. I mean, you definitely have to be careful who you call your friend, first and foremost. And everybody isn't your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I might talk to you more than my friend, and that don't necessarily make you my friend. But I think that as men, we don't have to be friends. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you can't respect me as a friend or as a man, what do you know what I'm saying? What's the point of doing it? Right, and so it's like, I think that's why, at least for me, a lot of my friendships or relationships with my male friends and shit like that, it's very understood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, our core values line up, so you know what line not to cross. You know what I'm saying? I know what line not to cross, and we have that mutual respect. And I think very rarely in male friendship dynamics do I think that shit gets wild from, you know what I mean? Because we both got friend girls, you know what I'm saying? And we hear the shit that they go through or the shit they deal with each other. And it's like, there's a lack of respect in that friendship, and that's why y'all are moving like that. But it's like, as a man, like, bro, I don't got time for drama coming from no dude. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I can cut that off real quick. Yeah. And then also, even like with you and myself, Mike. And it sounds very straightforward, but bro, I think about you when it's like I think about you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's like when we're planning the podcast, or when I'm trying to see if you want to like hang out, or if I have an idea, or if we conversing for information with each other. Yeah. But it's like when you're out of my sight, I assume that you are carrying yourself the exact same way I am.
For sure.
So therefore, I'm not even thinking about the things.
That's a great way to put it.
You get what I'm saying? It's like the way I'm carrying myself, bro, I'm not even doing things to disrespect you. Yeah. So in my friendship, I assume that you're moving the exact same way. Yeah. And I think sometimes, and then also that forms into like, gossip and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, bro, where I'm at in life, if you're not talking to me about things and where I'm trying to go, that conversation don't serve me purpose anymore. For sure. And then when it don't serve me purpose, it's like, man, I don't even feel like we are even getting to the point where I'm even thinking about the individual. I'm just like, okay, he on something else. Yeah. He over there.
And I think a little while ago, you kind of touched on, without necessarily naming it, that just living with intention. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that changes your friendship dynamic for sure, but it also changes your relationship dynamics as well. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like once you get to a point where I'm being extremely intentional about who I'm giving my time to, who I'm around, who I'm mixing with sexually. Mm-hmm. I just said this the other day. I was on a live with my homeboy. I was like, bro, once you start getting intentional, you realize that 90% of people aren't even in alignment with what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it I forgot who said it, but I was either reading something or watching something, and he was basically talking about once you gain certain knowledge, it opens your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like once your eyes are open, you can't close them, type of thing.
No, you can't. Right. Exactly.
The ignorance is bliss type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like once you learn patterns of manipulation, once you learn what a liar looks like, once you learn all this other shit, you are able to see people for who they really are way faster than you used to. You know what I'm saying? And it shrinks the dating market so much.
It does.
Would you agree with that?
I do agree. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the dating scene? And let me get the whole question out. Okay. Yeah. So my question is, how do you feel about the dating scene, high value women or well accomplished women that are now, and these are women that are actively seeking a partner, that are having a hard time finding a partner? What do you think about? Like, why do you even, because I have my theory, but I want you to answer first. Let me explain it to you.
So I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine last night, actually. Uh-huh. And she said something that kind of stuck with me. She said, everybody overvalues themselves in the dating market. Everybody thinks they're a little bit more valuable than they actually are. Mm-hmm. And so women will agree that just because a man got money doesn't make him desirable, right?
Right.
They'll all agree to that. Just because you have a degree, just because you have a nice job, just because you have money, that does not make you desirable to me as a woman.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of women accomplish a lot of things and they think that that makes them more worthy of certain things. And it don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit you did might get you a better job. It don't necessarily get you a better man.
Right, exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of people aren't honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't honest with themselves of where they fall in the dating market. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And because I find it hard to believe that out of all the millions of people that are in the United States, that there's just none that are available that you like and shit like that. You're either looking in the wrong places or there's something in you that you haven't fixed yet. And that's my honest opinion. It's like, I know I have certain advantages when it comes to dating, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not oblivious to that. But I also think if my position was different, I still would have the same perspective I have. Okay, shit, this is where I fall. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a girl is used to a nigga who is spending $10,000 a month on her, I don't qualify for her. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I just got to be honest about that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that women need a real homeboy that can like really keep it real with them. You feel what I'm saying? Because I think that having a genuine home girl does wonders for a dude.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that having a healthy relationship with a person of the opposite sex will kind of, if they're an honest person, will give you a perspective that you need on what you need to look for or what you might need to change. So to answer your question, I think it's a issue of overvaluing based on certain things that you personally find valuable. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So my theory is, I think it's deeper. I mean, well, I'm not saying yours is wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, so my theory is, I think a lot of times when we give advice or when we look at things, we cut out history.
Yeah.
We do not look where we came from and what is stacked up against us when we talk about our present day situations.
Yeah.
So just for points, right? Think about like the crack epidemic, mm-hmm. or think about like the dynamic of the black family.
Yeah.
At one point, when we had Black Wall Street, when we had these, all black men got on like, suits, they got businesses, they're getting property and land and things of that nature.
Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah.
And then obviously something potent happened that stunted that. Mm-hmm. So now the black father, at a certain degree, at one point was absent, right?
Yeah.
I think we are dating women there are results from a chain of events that had absences.
For sure.
But meaning this. So a mother is going to equip her daughter to be prepared for the world without a man.
Yeah.
Right? Or a father. It can be a double household, and they're going to prepare her to, do everything to be successful in life just in case she need to be successful by herself.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this. There is a learned thing. If I go to school and I make these grades, I'm going to get this job. Mm-hmm. If I go back to school and get this double degree, I know what job I'm going to get. If I have a focus on this, I can do these things to get that.
Yeah.
Right? But in dating, it's different. Mm-hmm. And I think the problem is sometimes we try to put that 1 and 1 together to equal 2.
For sure.
And in dating, everyone's 1 and 1 doesn't look the same. Mm-hmm. Meaning this, I might date a guy that, I am giving him this certain emotion and I'm treating him this way and I'm doing wifely things, right? To show him that I want you to court me. Mm-hmm. And say he is courting her correctly. Yeah. But say in his timeline, he is working on things within himself as well. Mm-hmm. If she already has a timeline in her head to be like, well, I did these things and he should be acting like this right now. Yes. That doesn't correlate to the rest of her life. Mm-hmm. Because if I made A's, I'm getting this degree. Yeah. And if I get this degree, I'm getting this job. Yeah. So if I treat this man this way, he should do this. Yeah. Well, in dating, you can meet a guy that, and y'all kick it off and he might be ready to get married in 3 months. Mm-hmm. And y'all be married for 67 years. Mm-hmm. And then you might meet a guy and it might take y'all 2 years of dating. And then he might propose and y'all still be married for 67 years. There are just different, I don't think there's a right answer mm-hmm. to the love story that we try to condense it.
I think what you're speaking to is a couple of different things. One is, like you said, the woman who believes that, hey, if I do X, Y, and Z, that gets me 1, 2, 3. And it's like being able to understand that like you said, when it comes to dating, there's not always something tangible that you can grab to say, hey, that's going to get me the ring. You know what I'm saying? Or this is going to get me him to be exclusive with me, whatever. Right. It's so much more that comes into that because humans are complex beings. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And the second thing is, I just told my homegirl this the other day. We were just talking about marriage and mm-hmm. Women being upset about certain men's timeline when it comes to marriage. I said, I think the only reason women make the marriage timeline thing such an issue is because it's the only thing in dating that they don't control. Women control when you have sex. Yep. Women control if you can talk to her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Women have the upper hand and they have the decision-making lever on everything when it comes to... A girl can tell you, hey, I want this house. A man is going to buy that house. Mm-hmm. The only thing you can't tell me...
about that, didn't we?
It's the one thing you cannot tell me what the fuck to do and when the fuck to do is when to marry you. Mm-hmm. And I think that bothers them. Mm-hmm. I was just having a conversation about marriage not too long ago, and my homegirl asked me, she told me rather, she said women aren't as infatuated with getting married as they used to be. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think women who are single say that, but any woman who's in a relationship, she is waiting for this nigga to ask her to marry him. No, right. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it all depends on where you're positioned at the moment, because every girl that's single will tell you she loves being single. Right. It's the best decision she's ever made in her life. And then women who are in good relationships, they love, they do, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have it no other way, this, that, and the third. And so women speak from the perspective that they currently are in. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's safe to believe because women's...
Right. And I mean, and also what's your definition of singleness? Because am I single and enjoying my time by myself, mm-hmm. or am I single and entertaining mm-hmm. the different percentages of what these different men are giving me? Mm-hmm. Because, if I get this guy that has good conversation, I got this one guy that, he handles what I need sexually, and then I got this guy that takes me on dates. Mm-hmm. You will find yourself dating a percent of every single person to fit where you are. Mm-hmm. Whereas man, if you're dating one person, it actually is tough because that one person is gonna show their flaws. Yeah. And you have to be able to accept that their flaws is 100% who they are. Yeah. And can I accept 100% of who you are mm-hmm. by yourself? Yeah. And does that fit what I need? The greatest thing, bro, this guy was talking and he was preaching a sermon and he was just talking about a lot of people say that they want to like marry or date somebody that feels them. Mm-hmm. But he was just talking about the point of being filled by yourself.
Yeah.
And so he showed like the analogy of like 2 cups, and they were full of water and full of water. And he was like, these 2 individuals can pour into each other. And since I'm already full, it balances out. Mm-hmm. But then it's like if my cup is halfway empty and this person is full, if he's always pouring to fill me up, eventually his cup is becoming empty. Mm-hmm. What happens when his cup becomes empty? You know what I mean? So it's like, even in singleness, am I preparing myself to be with someone? Yeah. And also, man, singleness is not a sentence to loneliness. Yeah. You can be single and fulfilled. You can be single and whole. Yeah. And then I think with dating, it'll be a lot easier if you're single and you're whole. Mm-hmm. Then you mess around and be like, dang, that person whole too. Yeah. And then now y'all able to see the whole picture with each other and be like, you know what? Come be a part of my wholeness. Yeah. Compared to us both being empty and trying to figure out what can fill us up.
I do think that's like a mental hurdle that I have struggled with before. And I would say not as much now. So I would say before is like, I'm super comfortable by myself. Mm-hmm. I'm extremely comfortable being single. And so when I bring a woman into my life, it's like, I would love for you to be adding something rather than taking away. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And so if I feel like you're coming...
What do you mean by taking it away? I think we say that, but like, what is she taking away?
A relationship in general takes away something.
I agree.
It takes away either your alone time. Mm-hmm. It takes away some of your freedoms. It takes away some of your money. Mm-hmm. It takes away your attention. So she's gonna take away something, and you are too. Right. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, if all you're doing is taking, like you said, if you're not pouring back into my cup and all, you know what I'm saying? If every time we interact, I feel like I'm giving something away, that's gonna make me not feel comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I mean.
Like, after a while, I'm feeling empty and I'm not feeling fulfilled.
And there are women who come into dating situations where this is what I want, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take, and they don't ever really like. I don't want to say ever because I say all the time, my dating history, I don't have like a dating horror story. Mm-hmm. Like, all of the women that I've had relationships with have been great in some aspect. They just ended for whatever reason they ended. So I don't have like this. Same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have this hate for women or nothing like that. I just see things for what they are. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how I stay away from certain types of women that lead me away from having those dating horror stories and shit. So yeah, I just want a woman who is going to also add, and that's going to make me comfortable to give. You feel what I'm saying? So that's kind of just where I'm at with it. So it's like, to take me out of that comfortability of me being alone, I gotta feel that.
No, I feel it. Yeah. And I think I was at that point at one point in life but I became so content with being by myself. Yeah. That the addition of that woman, I was able to identify it. Mm-hmm. I was able to be like, dang, this is what she do, or dang, she is adding this to me. And
because I believe niggas who are married and they say that. I don't not believe them. You know what I'm saying? I haven't found that to that level yet.
Last thing, I know we have other points. But my last thing is this. Have you ever dated and you felt like a spot filler? Meaning this. The woman is dating for a husband. Mm-hmm. It's like whoever that husband may be compared to dating because I am your husband. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, think about this. Think about, I'm in the aspect of where it's like, man, I know I want a wife. Yeah. So every woman I date it's like I can see her as my wife. Mm-hmm. Compared to me dating to be like, nah, this ain't it. Yeah. I'm not gonna waste no time with you. Cool. Because in the past, I dated and it seemed as though like, you know, you ready to be married. Mm-hmm. So you're very forward with ready to be married compared to me being your person. And I think those are two different things. Mm-hmm. I think it's like, I want to feel like I'm your person. I want to feel like I'm the it for you. Yeah. Compared to it being like, oh, you the guy that I'm dating right now and I'm this age. So
I'm fitting you into this mode that I would like for you to fit in. I'm not necessarily molding around you.
Exactly. And vice versa. I feel like to feel chosen is the beautiful thing about relationships compared to, oh, it's time.
So one thing that I don't believe in is like quick marriages, right? Mm-hmm. And if people got married quick, cool, like that's what you do. But I feel like it's impossible to learn a person on the level that you really need to in a few months. I just don't believe it.
What month do you give where it's like you think you start seeing a real person? I say 7. I say 7 months. I mean, because obviously we all are changing. We change every day. Every month we're evolving as people. But I feel like around month 6 or 7, it's like that's when you start seeing the real.
I say around a year.
You think a year?
Yeah. Because I think at a year's mark, and of course time is relative because there's people who see each other every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's people who play house really early on. So like y'all are seeing different aspects of each other early. But from let's say the stereotypical standard relationship, y'all haven't lived together within that first year, but y'all are starting to spend a lot of overnights with each other. You feel what I'm saying? And so I think once a year hits, it's almost impossible for you to be fake if you were.
No, yeah, I agree.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think a year is like when I could actually start to visualize, can I be married to this woman?
No, yeah. No, I mean, so I think visualizing that for sure a year. But I think after like 3 seasons, I feel like it's hard to put up a facade for that long. I have seen, and also
I don't disagree with that.
And also I think that in a relationship, you have to create what you are, experiencing or expecting. So therefore, I have to create the open avenue for me to see who you really are.
Yeah.
So don't walk off when your homegirls call. I'm like, hey, no, answer the phone around me.
Yeah.
Or like, you got an attitude with your parents. I want to see what their attitude looks like. Because I'm not just loving who you present to me. I need to love who you are.
Yeah.
And that's you at work. That's you at your, at church. That's you at your Pilates class. You are, I want to see what type of woman are you in all those different aspects.
Yeah.
Because, however you present yourself, when I say I love you, I love all of those things as well. Even if I don't like all those things, I have to love your whole package.
Do you feel like there's any fear for you to get married? Like, is there any fear surrounding marriage for you?
Fear. I don't know. I think fear is a tough word to say. The way you answered, the way you asked it, do you have a fear of getting married?
Hell yeah.
Why? What's your fear of it? What's the fear?
Once again, I'm a realist. I pay attention to the shit that's going on. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to misquote, but I believe last year alone, 1 million women filed for divorce. And here's the other thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I when I have these conversations about marriage, I know sometimes I can come off like I'm anti-marriage. I'm not.
Right.
I'm anti being protected in marriage, right? And so, I do contract work and shit. On different companies that I've worked for, you'll see dudes that's like 65, still working like my tier of work because of marriage.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a divorce. I lost the house. She took $100,000. I got to get back on the grind.
No, that's real life.
And it's like, I don't think women hear those stories enough. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I get pushback from a woman on this perspective, I always be like, what would you want your son to do? You know what I'm saying? What position would you want your son to put himself in if he was going to get married to a girl that you might not necessarily feel like is going to be around forever? Would you want him to protect his assets, or would you just be like, hey, marry her for love. She deserves all the money she get if y'all get a divorce.
Right.
Let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, when you pay attention to what's actually going on in the world, take your feelings out of it. At the end of the day, marriage is a business contract.
It is.
I feel like you should treat it as one. Yes, I'm marrying you because I love you, but I'm also marrying you so we can tie our assets together. Right. End of story. So take the fucking fairy tale out of it. That's what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And so I think that from a realist standpoint, there are some concerns that I, as a man, should have. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing, is just like, I'm paying attention to the divorce rates. I'm paying attention to it seeming like women are more in love with the fairy tale of I had a wedding rather than being a wife.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And the journey of being a wife is a lot less sexy than the ring in the marriage.
Okay, so I do not disagree with what you're saying, but I do think that is what social media portrays to us. But I have a lot of friends who that's not their story. And what I mean by that is,
all my uncles are married. I got homeboys that's married.
But I'm saying far as like, the people that's next to us. Yeah. So obviously when our uncles or our parents got, like when people 2 generations ago or a generation ago got married, their life was completely different.
For sure.
What I had in my success and what I deemed as successful was influenced by my family and kind of solely off of what I desired. It was like if I knew that I was going to leave this country town and I was going to go to this exact city and I knew that I was going to go to school for this. It was more so like I researched this, I did this, and a lot of influence didn't pour into that decision. Now we live in a world that is influenced. So by it being influenced, we have to look at it differently. So, those parents and our folks being married, that's cool. But like the people that's surrounding us that are married in that way, I think the reason why I would say fear is not what I am of marriage, but I think in all things new, you can be scared or afraid of it.
For sure.
What I mean by that is seeing successful marriages and seeing where I came from, I only desire a certain woman in their regard. So I am dating a woman for the intent of things not always looking beautiful. Meaning this, if God blesses me to live to 95 years old and me and my wife and I don't have any problems and things of that nature, that is great. I pray that happens. But also I have seen relationships where a spouse is thriving, they're thriving in careers and they have a career-ending accident. And I've seen individuals take care of their spouse for 30-something years until their spouse passes. And people are like, that is what marriage actually is.
For sure.
And so it's like, am I dating somebody that loves Sean outside of just my assets? Because obviously I want to date somebody that has things to bring to the table as well. But also I am dating the person. I am dating your spirit. I am dating your love for God. I'm dating those things. And if you can fake those things, then you got me. But I feel like I have a discernment and I can actually look at character where I'm like, no, this is a good person. And I feel like, especially as men our age that are dating to get married, you should be able to differentiate if somebody doesn't bring it to the table. And if they don't bring it to the table, then obviously you'll remain single. You know what I mean? But also, man, I was pursuing, when I was in a car dealership, pursuing my degree. So when I was in my early 20s, I sold cars while going to school. And man, this wasn't nothing that my parents told me or anything. I was selling a car to an individual and he made $250,000, right? And the finance manager, he was like, oh, okay, Sean, sign him up. He's good to go. Get his car together. And he was buying a car for his wife. So it's $250,000. He buying a car for his wife. They got great credit. Cool. She had no income. He took care of everything. But man, it was another scenario where a guy made like 125, and his wife made like 120, and the whole dealership, all those older men were like, they were raving about it. They were literally like, man, you see how much his wife, man, I wish my wife, what you got? And I noticed that it's like, nah, bro, I want my partner to be successful. I want her to have things with me. I think the problem with black men and when we have stresses and high blood pressure and things of that nature is because we take on being that by myself. Whereas like, no, man, if I have a partner that's just as successful, it's not threatening. It should be a point where it's like we're a partnership. So now we can do these things together. Now as a household, we are this powerful. Now your voice and your income matches and goes with what I'm doing. Now that doesn't mean that you don't reverence me as your husband. That don't mean you're not submissive to me while I'm submissive to God. That just mean that the stresses that, my grandfather and them had to go through, they worked so hard that we don't have to continue what they went through. My grandmother wasn't working not because she didn't know how to work. She was not allowed the opportunity to get a job. When she was in 7th grade, my grandmother legit had to stop. Like, she did not go to school after that. They worked. And then she had kids for those kids to work for my grandfather in the fields. Like, it was a whole like system where it was like, I'm doing this to help my grandfather. And they continued until they were older in age. But all of their kids got degrees and were married. So therefore, when they get degrees and they're married and both of those spouses are working, they have the product, which is me. And so my goal is that I meet a woman where it's like, hey, this is my stock. This is where I come from. Let's create an opportunity for my child where it's like, no, he's going to be successful. She's going to be successful. And I pray that they meet successful children, from other black households, that now we are building generational legacies and not percentage
Yeah.
relationships.
And here's the thing for me too, bro. I think that I definitely desire a woman who has some sort of career or some type. She's successful in her own right. You know what I'm saying? I just find that to be attractive in general.
No, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's not even about a money thing necessarily. It's great if you make money, but I just like an ambitious woman in general. But
Same.
I think that my mindset has always been when I get to the point where I can genuinely afford to take care of everything, and I feel like you're here for all the right reasons and you really do love me, you're not going nowhere, I'm not going nowhere, and I have the income to make you a stay-at-home wife, and I take care of everything and you can work if you want to type of thing, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's the goal.
But I feel like people be wanting that from the jump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not at that place yet. And so if that's your expectation,
Then
I'm not even finna try to play like that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And even if I was, I wouldn't be there right off the bat.
Do you think our generation, and especially women, like say their dad did everything, right? But I think sometimes the memory starts at like 16 years old. But you think they like realized where their father was when they were like in like first, second, third grade, 5 years old, etc. Because like my parents, they're successful in things right now.
Yeah.
But bro, we stayed in a 1-bedroom in Camelot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was 4 of us. It was my mom, my dad, my sister, and myself.
Yeah.
And so now my parents, they have their success stories and things of that nature. But, that didn't happen until my 20s where my mom was like, hey, apply for that job. That's your job, baby.
Yeah.
Or my dad was like, hey, baby, go back to school. That's for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like they went through seasons of life to get to where they are now.
What you think the number one reason why a lot of dudes in our age bracket aren't proposing right now?
Finance?
They feel like they need to make more money.
Yeah, or I need to have this set aside before I bring somebody else into it.
And where do you feel like that expectation comes from? I
mean, the women that we're dating. For sure.
And so it's like you said, it's one of those things that I feel like niggas have kind of just accepted that that's what it is. And we've kind of taken on, I don't want to say a big burden, because compared to our fathers and uncles and shit like that, we do live in this era where like we honestly don't have an excuse to not be rich. You know what I'm saying? I do. Let me not say we don't have an excuse. That's disingenuous to say. We have a lot less of an excuse to not be successful. We live in the information boom. We have fucking everything is at our fingertips. You just got to be willing to look for it, and then you got to be willing to put in the work to get it. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of our fathers and uncles and shit like that, they didn't do certain things because they didn't know.
Right.
We know.
For sure.
You feel what I'm saying? And
we know these things are attainable.
Yes. And even though the economy is what it is right now, and of course, you know what I'm saying, we have to take that into consideration. But, bruh, have you been seeing those posts where it's like, in the last 6 months, the United States has added 1,900 new millionaires or some shit like that?
Yes, I did.
People are making money.
No, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, of course, you know what I'm saying, there's going to get to a point where millionaires are the new 6-figure people. And so, you know, of course, inflation and the devaluing of the dollar and all that shit is happening. It is a real thing. But on the flip side of that, when have black people, and I'm focusing on us because that's the demographic that I'm a part of, when have we ever had information on real estate purchasing? When have we ever had the information on how to get government jobs, how to do this and do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how to clean our credit. Our parents didn't know how to do that shit.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so, although there is this expectation of providing for our women financially, we also have the means to get where we're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, the same conversation I was having last night with my homegirl, she said, because we were talking about dating 10s or dating a 7 and all that shit. And we could talk about that if you want to. But she was like, nothing that you desire in life comes without pain. Because
that is true.
I was talking about the difference between dating a 6, 7 versus dating a 10. Like, you just feel like you got to do more for the 10 because, you know, she has access to whoever she wants. You know what I'm saying? She was like, as a man, you kind of just gotta like eat that pause. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of just gotta like take that for what it is. Like, bro, you got a 10, you gotta maintain that 10. Mm-hmm. If you got a Corvette, you gotta do a little bit more maintenance than if you got a Toyota. Right, that just is what it is.
No, that's true.
And so, I want a beautiful wife. I'm very physical. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, if my wife comes with don't get me wrong, I don't want a financially lustful woman in any kind of way, but
right.
I do want a physically appealing woman, and that comes with certain actions that I might not have to do with a woman that's not as attractive. Mm-hmm. So it's you give and take. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick a struggle at the end of the day. So
you for sure got to pick a struggle. I think also, I mean, I do think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I'm saying? And so what I deem a 10 might be a 7 or an 8 to you, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But I do think there are certain things that comes with an attractive woman, and I think some men can be jealous or things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So like if my girl go out and she's attractive, it's like I need to have enough trust in her and also enough confidence in myself that, when she go out, she gonna do her thing, and she gonna be, when she come back, I'm not gonna be stressing about it.
That goes back to like the mentality of the man, because it's like I'm at a place where it's like I'm not even involved with the woman that I feel like I gotta look over my shoulder.
Right. I'm like, baby, go out with your girl.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you cheat on me, like it gotta fall in my lap damn near. Like
I promise.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody
like,
gotta tell you to text me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not looking for shit. I ain't running behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read people very well. Mm-hmm. If some shit off, I'm going to feel it. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And there have been women who have dated me, and when I was in a place where I wasn't really clicking with them mentally, they felt it. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, I would imagine that in my case, if some foul shit was happening, I feel it, you know what I'm saying, before I, got too deep into it. For sure. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in a position where I'm willing to date anybody that I feel like gives me the vibe that I gotta watch out for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool on that if that's what it's gotta be. Mm-hmm. But would you say, in your experience, that dating a 10 in your eyes or dating a 6 or 7, like what's the difference in your eyes?
What's the difference between the 10 and the 6 and the 7?
Yeah, like a woman that's on the higher end.
My question is, have you dated 6 and 7?
Yeah.
I'm saying like
I love a 6 or a 7. To be honest,
why do you? I mean, what is your definition? What is a 6 or a 7?
They're way.
I need to know what it is.
They're way better people.
You think so? So hold on. So this is my thing. Okay, and this is not no cocky. Yeah. It's not being cocky. I feel like I only date 10s. Because of this, because you had just said, physically
relative.
Okay. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. You just said like, it's like I'm the same way. My type is beautiful. Like my type is what I deem is attractive. Yeah. And so what I go after is that. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is, but the difference between a 6 and a 10, like if they going out, etc. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like men approach both of them in this day and age. Right? Yeah. So I feel like the difference is not what the status or how beautiful the woman is. It's about how she is presenting herself to the opposite sex when you ain't around.
I'm saying, what has your like dating difference, or do you feel like there's a difference when you're with a 10 versus what you think is a 6 or 7 or whatever? Or you said you feel like you date all 10s. You said you feel like you date all 10s.
No, I'm not saying that. Don't even say that. That's crazy. Okay. All right.
Because here's what I mean.
Okay, yeah. Help me out.
A 6 or a 7 to me might be a 8, 9, maybe a 10 to another nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying relative to what I date. Relative to my standard.
Or to my standard. I got you.
Yeah. A 6.5, 7, lovely. Mm-hmm. It's a lovely spot to be in. If you can find you a 8, a 9 that act right, cool. But that's a golden goose. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
I feel like a 10 got junts.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like a 10 has rosters.
Yeah, and most 10s kind of make, I don't want to say they make you, but a lot of women who are 10s, they kind of sort of make you, and they kind of want you to feel that pressure of, nigga, be on your P's and Q's.
Okay, so I think this is my thing. I think the reason why I'm not able to answer that fully is because in my latter, like more recently in dating, I don't want to be your Tuesday nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I'm saying, so therefore,
I'm not even disrespecting myself.
But what I'm saying is, so if I'm dating a 10,
yeah,
then she is giving me everyday access to the point that she might not react or act like a 10 that somebody else is dating.
Yeah.
So she might be bad as everything, but she giving Sean every part of her.
I feel it.
Whereas like in the past, I've dated 10s and I was cool with the time that I got from you. So if I can take you out on a Tuesday and we can have our date and I can see if she's going to text me back and I'm trying to court you, that's cool. But also you might be trying to date other individuals.
Yeah.
And it's like now I'm not cool with being your Tuesday guy.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to take you out and wine and dine you my very first date.
Yeah.
You know, the very first date might be just can I talk on the phone with you for 2 hours? I'm like, dang, I just talked to this girl to 3
o'clock. You be on the phone for 2 hours?
No, but I'm saying,
I was about to say.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is I don't be on the phone for 2 hours.
minutes on this motherfucker. You hear me? I ain't finna be like this.
Bro, if you... Hold on. First of all, you know how you just said like you haven't found a woman that you gonna like marry and stuff?
Yeah.
The woman that you gonna marry, you're not gonna want to get off the phone with her. And I'm saying like that's real because
Sean,
you're not, bro. You're not.
I'm not staying on this fucking phone for 2
hours. You're not,
hours.
bro. I'm saying because you are talking out of experience of what you have dated. Yeah. But I'm saying, bro, when you date somebody and it gets to the point where you like, man, she compliments being around me. We're talking about stuff and her conversation isn't boring.
Yeah.
It's going to make something in you be like, man, I want to take this woman out. When can I, what you doing?
Yeah.
When you off? And she's like, well, I'm off on Thursday. You're going to make your schedule wrap around her Thursday so I can take her out and court her away because now I'm investing into something.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be a return. So I'm investing into this. And so now I'm at the point where it's like, I'm pouring into this. But also she pouring into me. I feel good when I'm around her. The conversation don't stop. When I just said about her the next morning, she's saying good morning. And I'm like, let me pick the phone up. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm on the way to work. You can talk to me. I'm going to connect you to my car. That's what I'm saying. I think we put the points we have for dating randoms to the points we have for dating our person. Yeah. When you find our person, you're going to date differently than other people. Like even when I'm seriously dating, like I'm just even talking now, I was like, hey, you know, you're getting a version of Sean that nobody else has ever seen. And she was like, what you mean? And I'm like, no, you're getting a version of me that nobody else has seen this version.
Fool, that is the most gamest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's real though. I'm saying that's real.
Anytime a nigga speak in third person, that is game. I'm gonna put the ladies online on some shit.
Lying.
If a nigga refer to himself, hey baby, you getting a version of Mike that ain't none of these other hoes. That's game, bro.
Hey y'all, Mike.
Start running game on these hoes.
Hey y'all, Mike is talking from a standpoint.
Yeah, you know, baby girl, you ain't no other hoe got the version of Sean. You feel
me? Hey, the main line. What I mean by this, okay, I got, okay. Think about this, Mike. All right, being real, okay. You are like very. I think outside. What do you think people would perceive you as? If they didn't know you, how would they perceive you?
For sure, a player.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying how would just looking at you, if a woman was dating you, like just characteristics where she would just think in things that you think of yourself as well. Like if she dating you, what comes with you?
If she's dating me, I'm funny, I'm spontaneous, I'm random as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to keep shit as exciting as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very lighthearted and like I try to keep shit on the fun end. You feel what I'm saying? For the most part, I do get introspective and I do get serious, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But my girl, my wife, like that's my home girl for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to gossip about stupid shit, not necessarily about real life situations, but you know what I'm saying? I want to shoot the shit with my girl. I want to be able to have friend-like conversations. So I'm a very light person to date as much as I can be.
Would you say that you have dated women that have gotten their version of you?
Yeah.
I feel like the woman that you're going to marry would have a version of you that no other woman has tapped into.
Yeah.
Because no other woman is or will be your wife.
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
So what I mean by that is when you're seriously dating, and from my statement, what I'm saying is she will have you doing
shit that you haven't experienced with any other woman.
And so it's like this version of me, nobody else has experienced this version.
Yeah.
I'm being goofy with you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm walking dogs with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to a spoken word thing, and it's like I don't even like hearing people talk.
Yeah.
But because you're interested in it, I'm seeing a different aspect of what this presents.
Mm-hmm.
And so this version of who I am, I've dated people in the past, but they're not getting the version of me that you're getting.
Yeah.
And so that's where it come from my statement. It's like, no, bro, this is a different person that you are experiencing.
Yeah.
And it's tailored specifically for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman that I'm dating, I would want her to be the exact same way. I don't want who everybody else didn't have. Now, whatever has happened before me, that's before me.
Yeah.
But once I get you, I want you to shed. I want you to drop barriers and walls. I want you to be able to be free around me. You know what I'm saying? Your hair not done, your makeup not done, and if you wake up in the morning, I'm like, dang, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a version of you. I'm seeing the beauty of you that no other man has seen. And so that's where that statement come from. I ain't talking about I'm lying.
I feel like and of course you're saying unlocked fully. Yes, whoever I marry, she will get a version of me that has never been experienced in a relationship before. But I think when I know for me personally, when I know for a fact that like I'm locked in with a woman or like she's tapping in, you know what I'm saying? Like we at a level that a lot of my situations don't get to is when she has me unlocking memories that I might have forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Like when she gets a story out of me that I might not have ever told anybody. You know what I'm saying? As an only child, I got a shit ton of stories that like I haven't voiced before. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm having a conversation with a woman and she says something or something about her sparks a core memory that I haven't spoken on in a long time, that's when I'll be like, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, yeah.
Different. And also have you ever heard somebody, like, if you dated somebody for a long time and then the response is, oh, you wasted my time? And I don't feel like that is the case.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, if we don't work for each other, we just didn't work.
Yeah.
But also, you evolved and me evolving in this relationship is not a waste of time. It's just, you know, I grew to where I needed to be in that season.
Yeah.
And then we also realized that maybe we weren't meant to be this.
A part of me before in the past has felt guilty about that. It's like, man, you spend so much time with a woman and she spends so much time with you and y'all are tapping into certain levels of the relationship. And then when it does get to a point where it don't work out, it's like, damn, like, even if I know we should walk away from each other, there is still a part of me that's like, damn, like, I kind of feel bad that we gave so much of each other to each other that it ultimately ended up in us like not speaking again or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
But that's life, though.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the problem, and especially our generation, bro, we try to control so much of life.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like, if we can control everything, if everything was perfect, if all of us didn't have flaws, and if we didn't curse and fight and kill, etc., that would be heaven.
Yeah.
Bro, like, we in life, legit. So it's like, no, every day is a new experience for me. And tomorrow is a day that I do not know what it will be. Yeah. But I feel like the only thing I can do out of relationships is respect somebody giving their all to me when we're working on this together. Yeah. And I feel like if you're truly working on something together and y'all realize that it don't work out, it's just like as adults. Yeah. Also, social media has given us attachment to things that I feel like in the past generations didn't have to get attachment to. Meaning, like, say it's a relationship or say it's an old friend that you've been following this dude for like 9 years, but y'all ain't said nothing to each other, but you see he didn't have kids, you see that he didn't get married, and it's like, now you feel a part of that growth, or you feel a part of him, even to the point where if I unfollowed you, you feel like it's beef or things that you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like the same thing in relationships. It's just like, no, even if we detach, and it doesn't mean like I want you to like suffer. It just means like, you know what, this doesn't serve my life anymore. Go be great with your life, and I'm gonna be great with mine.
One thing my homeboy told me, I was talking to him about one of my serious relationships, and we were like on the brink of ending and whatnot, and I was just like venting or whatever to him, and he was like, bruh, he was like, I think I know what your issue is. He was like, I think with you, bruh, is like, you're so competitive that you treat relationships like sports, in the sense of you think that breaking up or letting a relationship go is losing, and you think fixing things is winning. And he was like, bruh, sometimes you just gotta like let that mindset go and just be like, bruh, okay, you learned what you learned, you gained what you gained from the relationship, and it ended because it needed to. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean go harder, or it doesn't mean you need to be the fixer or whatever. Just learn how to take whatever it was that you got from the relationship and things that you can use moving forward and like focus on that.
Do you think it's like the missed shots analogy?
What do you mean?
Where it's like, you know how they talk about like Jordan or Kobe, and they talk about all the shots they took, and we always talk about like the wins, but we don't talk about like the misses.
Yeah.
But those misses help them prepare for the wins.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way. And I'm not trying to relate missing shots to all the relationships that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, like even if this one didn't work out, I feel like addressing that it doesn't work out allows the opportunity for what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
To happen. Compared to me steadily trying to fix something that's broken.
Clearing space.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, this didn't work out, but I learned from it.
Yeah.
So now when I do meet my person, or I meet the person that I'm supposed to be dating, etc., it's like we can't do nothing but learn from our experiences.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't handle these conversations correctly, or maybe in the past I was a little too aggressive or mean, or I shut people off, or etc.
Yeah.
So it's like now in this new relationship, and I'm ready to put my feelings back out there. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do this again because I learned what their result is.
Yeah.
So now let me be a better product and do things that are a little bit better.
One quote I saw that gave me a dope perspective was, once you stop going through life like people belong to you, you'll you know what I'm saying, like you'll basically like appreciate and understand more when the times when people walk away or whatever the case is. And it's like, one thing I had to learn was that you should never have to like ask or convince somebody to stay in your life or to be with you. You feel what I'm saying? And once you've gotten to that point, the relationship is probably over. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I was definitely the dude that I was always trying to, what can we do to fix it? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, because once I get to the point of a relationship with a woman, like I'm kind of tapped in unless something's going terribly wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So that detachment for me feels like I saw a dude explaining, he was like, bruh, a breakup like was physically affecting him. And that's how I feel like I used to feel about breaking up with a woman. It used to like physically make me sick to be like, damn, like I don't have this girl to call no more every day. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I don't have access to her no more. And it's like physically affecting how I feel, you know what I'm saying? And I had to unlearn and relearn that type of attachment to where like, okay, if a woman leaves me now, like, yeah, I love you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you got to do what you got to do and I got to do what I got to do. And that kind of also ties into spirituality. Like, I got to trust that if you are walking away, you're supposed to.
So also, a lot of times with that feeling that maybe a friend was explaining or et cetera, we really date backwards if we're being completely honest. And what happens is when you label somebody like soul ties, et cetera, that is actually the bond of what marriage is.
Yeah, for sure.
The reality is we're a generation of people that are going through everyday divorces. So I am trying
That's
to
a bar right there.
Bro, I'm trying to detach myself from somebody that I have bonded with. And that's the reason why, like, a lot of people, you know, if you actually read the Bible and we go the way God tell us to, then in actuality,
we'd avoid a lot of the shit we go
if
through.
I courted you first and I got to know you first and things of that nature, and yes, soul ties can happen just from intimacy that's not bound on sexual intimacy. But also, once I lay with you and we do this relationship thing and all that, so then that's another reason why men can fear marriage, because technically, before I got to this woman, I have went through 10 divorces. So what makes sense that you're not going to leave me too? And then the feeling of having her detached from me is so, I am losing weight. I'm not eating. I'm going through depression and things of that nature. So it's like now I don't even want somebody else to have that control over me. So now I guard the way I date you. To see if you, because if I give you this, I have to know that you're not going to put me through what I didn't been through in the past. Man.
That was a bar, bro. That was a motherfucking bar. Cause that's me to the T, bro. It's like once I get out of a situation like it definitely take me a while to like mentally bounce back. You know what I'm saying? And I've made the mistake of physically getting back in the field, and my mind and my heart ain't there at all. You know what I'm saying? And
you'll start off with that. You'll be like, hey,
do even more damage.
For nothing serious.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. But yeah.
Are you feeling the pressure at all from your parents about having kids?
No, I'm not. That's crazy. I'm not. I mean, so I think 27 to 30 was feeling the pressure. But now my parents, the realest thing, I'm gonna tell you this. I gave my dad a Father's Day card, and I told him, I said, man, you're doing a great job to be a first-time dad to a 31-year-old.
Yeah.
Meaning this. My dad has never, like, I'm his only son, and every new experience for me is a new experience for him.
Yeah.
So when I ask for advice, he has never given this advice to this version of me.
Yeah.
So when I was 27, and, they're like, show with like some grandbabies, etc. That's cute at 27.
Yeah.
But then when I have aspirations and I'm doing etc. and we've had conversations, now we're at a point where, my parents talk differently. They're loving the version of Sean that I am right now. They're accepting the version of Sean I am right now.
Yeah.
And they know when that season comes, Lord's willing, they'll be the best grandparents, But that's not something that they're rushing anymore.
For sure. What I wanted to ask you was, you talked about we date wrong. Could you wait to marriage to have sex with a woman?
So I think that it's kind of like it's kind of like a damaged type of answer when somebody has been sexually active before marriage.
Yeah.
Because your mind, and then also like even when we talk about the...
So no.
No, but look, no, I'm not saying that because I'm saying I have met guys who at some point has said no.
Yeah.
And then they have been in a walk with Christ. And they met a woman that challenged them to be like, hey, let's be celibate or let's practice abstinence until marriage.
Yeah.
So it's like me talking prematurely into that. I'm not going to say what could happen in the future. But what I'm saying is when you have had different experiences, you date with what you like, how you know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, mature dating changes if you actually align with God. Eventually, you start being like, hey, we actually like each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cut back on sex. When we have sex, we argue this way. When we open up that door, now I'm insecure.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe we should date this way.
Yeah.
So I have seen healthy ways to date. And I do know when you implement God and you're really on the path where you like, you know what? Let's date with God centered. Your conscience doesn't allow you to date a certain way. And you start looking at the woman completely different. Yeah. Sex start looking different. Yeah. And I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Just even at our age right now, where in my 20s, it probably was the top of my list.
Yeah.
In my 30s, I'm not saying it's not up there.
Yeah.
But it's not the first thing I think about no more.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally at the point where it's like, I'm worried about what Sean's legacy gonna be. I'm worried about, do I need to go back to school? I'm worried about performing well at work. I'm thinking about the stresses of this family member might be sick. It's so many other things that the world is throwing at me.
Yeah.
Are you there to fulfill me in other ways of intimacy that's not even sex?
Yeah.
Whereas like, I might have used to do it like rabbits. But now my intimacy might be us just sitting down and you just sitting here.
Yeah.
And I'm able to just be like, dang, you being here, that was an intimate moment for me. And that's the recharge I need to go attack the world that's been attacking me every day. Yeah. And so I'm not going to say, can I not date a woman before marriage without sex? But it's just like in the past, once you break that seal, it's hard to not introduce that before pursuing a woman.
Yeah. That's actually one of my dating markers, if you want to call it that. Is like, can I and how long can I be around you with like not even doing nothing? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we just around each other.
You my friend for real.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we get to that point, and how are those situations where we just around each other and we don't necessarily have anything to say? You know what I'm saying?
So when, most of the time when we talk, when people ask like, what are your love languages? Yeah. And I'll be like, physical touch, what is it like, where's affirmation and quality time? Yeah. My quality time is number one, but it has changed. My quality time now is like, if I'm at the house, bro, and I'm cleaning up and I cut my grass and I'm reading a book or I'm researching, I want you around me. Yeah. But you might be around me doing your own thing.
Cam Newton was just explaining this. Like,
that's my quality time with you, though. It's like, I don't have to be up under you. We don't have to be touching each other or even conversing. Yeah. But what if I have music and I'm existing? So the music is playing through my house. Yeah. And I'm over here working. You be doing the same thing?
He said men want to be by themselves but not alone.
Exactly. That's for sure. Yeah. That's me.
And it's like, you definitely don't got to be up under me, on top of me all day. You know what I'm saying? But just me knowing that you're there is like a comfort. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest flex, I tell my friends, my friends that are married, I was like, the biggest flex is having somebody that worry about you at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, it's cool that my mama text me and be like, hey, you make it home? Mm-hmm. But having a woman that's concerned about you, and not like because you're doing something, but it's like, is he safe? Or is he sleeping well?
Yeah.
Or if you got a God-fearing woman, is she praying for you? Mm-hmm. Man, that's the biggest flex and the biggest blessing. And having somebody around, like you said, and not being alone.
Yeah.
I feel like once a man get that, that's it for sure.
And that's the type of loving they be coming from them 6s and them 7s. I'm trying to tell you. Them 6s and them 7s, they be like, hey, where you at? Did you get home? You cool? How did the night go? That 10, she don't give a fuck about where you at, nigga.
Yo, Mike had some trauma.
That nigga need to text me when he get home. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how they feel.
Mike, you need to find you a 10 that text you.
Nah, I love me a 7.
A 6 or 7, all of them need to text you.
Love
like, hey,
me a 6 or a 7.
Baby.
Them 7s gonna check up on you. You hear what I'm saying?
I feel like even when I was on the roster, I was QB. They text me at 2 in the morning, regardless.
It's rare. It's rare. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're on the back end of the pod. I wanted to ask you before I let you go, bro. What's up with Shades?
Shades.
So for the people that don't know what Shades is, explain what Shades is.
Shades is a party that I curate, and basically I give out a color to the audience, and it is kind of like a color themed party. So everything will be surrounded by the color, but also the goal is to highlight individuals in that as well. So you know, if we have the party, we're highlighting black businesses, we're highlighting the different individuals that participate. And the goal is that when you come to the party, you feel a part of the party.
Yeah.
But even like with Shades, man, I was throwing parties when I was 16 years old. I started off 16, and every birthday, even friends would say, they'd be like, Sean, your birthday party is always, a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of like plummeted me into doing more so events.
Yeah.
Not only that, having the being blessed enough to draw people, but also trying to fill a void that I didn't see in Memphis at one point.
Yeah.
Now we see more of it. We see more people doing those type of events. But when I started, man, I feel like unless you own the club, people weren't doing that.
For sure.
Opportunities to network and, just exist, and it kind of feel like a family reunion. That was really my goal. You know what I mean? But what we have planned for Shades, I have some great things. So like homecoming. Okay. We're trying to make that like an annual event.
That was hard.
And so this upcoming homecoming, we're going to do the same thing on Sunday. It'll be at a different venue.
Okay.
But the goal is like, it's kind of like every year you're wearing blue.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be limited to University of Memphis. Okay. It's like, no, everybody can come.
Yeah.
Because, bro, Memphis is a PWI, but for the black people that went there, their job was at HBCU.
Yeah.
Because even when you visited from out of town, it's the city that's in a predominantly black. It's the school that's in a predominantly black city.
Yeah.
And then we have some other plans. I got some things that's coming up in December as well as February. So it's going to be a good time. Be on the lookout for that.
That's what's up.
Okay, so what I will say is, okay, let's start on this one. So my last 2 points will be the thoughts on content culture.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll go to we'll wrap it up with the centering of a relationship with God.
Okay.
The thoughts on content culture.
Yeah.
Probably something that I want to like touch on, but I would like to ask you first. How do you feel about it? Because I have thoughts on what social media has become.
When you say content culture, what exactly do you mean?
What I mean by that is, and I think I was talking to one of my close friends about this. I said, man, sometimes I have to detach from social media. It used to be that I detached from social media because it was negative. Now I feel like I detach from social media because I'm always being sold to. Meaning this, back in the day, when they first introduced the Meta glasses, or like those VR glasses, they literally had one day all the ads would be popped around and you would have to pay a fee to just see clear vision.
Yeah.
I feel like that hasn't came to pass, but a version of that has. Meaning this, we always get, do you want to see this ad? Does this interest you at all? That happens from people we don't know. But man, like now, 6 out of 10 people you follow are selling you something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a business they're starting, whether it's an event they're trying to publish, whether they are doing something locally or et cetera. They are using their content as a voice now.
Yeah.
And my goal is, what I'm asking is, how do you feel about that in general. There's like everyone is tapping into that, but also being sold to. Really, our entire life now is being sold to and marketed to.
So it's kind of crazy you bring that up because I actually have something that I'm going to launch that is going to be technically me selling something. And that perspective, I hate being sold to. You feel what I'm saying? And so I think that the way I'm going to jump into it is going to come from a very genuine and a very like no bullshit type of perspective because I hate the, hey, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate being sold to. I hate feeling like somebody is marketing to me. I hate feeling like I'm speaking to a salesman. So with that being said, I think you as the consumer have to use discernment to what's valuable to you and what's trying to drive up your consumerism. You feel what I'm saying? Because we do live in a very buy, you know what I'm saying, culture. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say I respect it because there are people who are actually offering things that are useful.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And
we both are in the field of selling to people.
Yeah.
To a sense.
To an extent, for sure. So I just would say, bruh, it's hard for the average person to kind of like cut through that fluff. You know what I'm saying? But I just would say, shit, think for yourself and do your research. You know what I'm saying? Think for yourself, do your research before you buy anything. You feel what I'm saying? Like, is this something that's actually going to be worth your time? Okay, for instance, I just paid for a course to teach me how to build a course. And without that, and it cost me a couple $1,000s. You feel what I'm saying? And this is a lady I've been following for like 6 years though. You feel what I'm saying? And so it wasn't something I jumped at immediately. Okay, let me watch her page. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me watch what she does. Let me watch what content she produces. Let me watch what the people around her are saying. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it can be tough because we have seen so many quote unquote snake salesmen over the years of like, oh, I'm gonna teach you how to get into stocks. I'm gonna teach you how to get into real estate, blah, blah, blah. And it'd be bullshit. So I do understand that is the reality of a lot of people. I think it's just on people who have a good heart, you know what I'm saying, or people who have genuine intention to continue to be genuine. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? I think the biggest heartbreaks when it comes to the content and the being sold shit is people who are selling their souls for $1. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know this shit some bullshit. You know this product or whatever it is you selling ain't gonna help people. It's not gonna, you know, it's not a good product, and you're doing it because another big company is paying you to do it. I think that, and I saw somebody say the other day, the term celebrity is dying, or the stardom of celebrities is dying. We are becoming the stars. We're becoming the celebrities, the Casanets, the Asho Speeds, the all them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who are quote unquote everyday people are kind of becoming famous. And I think that with being a real person, don't lose that you're a real person. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when I talk to people about what it is that I'm going to sell, it's like, bro, I'm telling you my real story. Like, this ain't some shit I made up. This ain't some shit that I thought about one day. Like, this is my experience, and I want to teach people, especially people who look like me, but everybody, I want to teach people how to get from A to Z without going through all the bumps that I might have had to go through. You feel what I'm saying? And on the last pod with Daz that I did, I told her that, like, man, I had a real mental hurdle to get over where I was like, man, I felt like, bro, I learned all this information on my own. Why would I give it to somebody? You feel what I'm saying? And it was like, you can't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't think like that because God gives you gifts to give other people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, God doesn't bless you with gifts to keep for yourself. Very rarely does he do that. And so it's like, it would be selfish of me to have gone through something that I know for a fact can help some people have a smoother path, and I just hold on to it.
I think that's the difference between like purpose and like career.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just said, like, you have a purpose.
I could do my career without saying shit for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
That ain't my career. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's something that I'm giving to people because I genuinely do. Right. I'm from, like, hey, we just talked about it. I'm from Westwood, bro. Right, like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? For a nigga like me to be from Westwood and touch $1 million, mind blown.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I don't want to be the fucking stereotypical black man thinks $1 million is a lot of money. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the statistics of me coming from where I come from and getting to where I've gotten and getting to where I'm gonna get to,
right? Exactly,
is astronomically low. You feel what I'm saying?
So, well, it didn't took a turn. I mean, so I'm not even going to talk about. Well, I was going to say, as far as social media and being sold, and being able to detach from that. I understand that everyone is in a. It kind of piggybacks off on the first thing you said. When you said so many opportunities for us to make money, that we have no excuses. So I feel like we are a result of seeing that. Whereas like people are saying, you know what, I can create this and it can bring revenue. So can nobody tell me not to create it? So that's like the first thing. But the second thing of it took a turn, and that goes back on shades is what people see right now. But what my plan is, or what my goal is, are things that I haven't even spoke about yet. The reason why is because, man, like even when we talked about Memphis, and to circle back on our first thing when we talked about Memphis, I was having a conversation. I said, bro, everything that you hate about Memphis, I hate about it too. The difference is I legit want to change the things that I do not enjoy. So that's like, that is the purpose thing. It's like, I was talking to somebody and she had avenues or opportunities to see the discrimination that women are going through in the medical field. She sees it. With our leadership now, there are certain things in certain places where every woman does not get the same treatment. My question to her was, so what are you going to do about that? With you having your education and your access, do you say, I got my education and my access, I'm going to go away to somewhere that's comfortable for me? Or do you be like, I'm going to speak for the people that don't even know that they're lost? Like, I'm going to speak for the woman that's working at this job that has no access here, and in 7 months she might get pregnant, and then 3 months after that she might get turned away. Am I going to speak for that woman? And I feel like even with purpose, it takes away from what you are, and it goes to how can you help people. It's like the purpose is always attached to, what am I doing to better somebody that's not me? And so that's kind of where I'm at, where it's just more so it's like, man, I mean, you show people what they can see right now. But then also you position yourself that one day the goal is to be able to help areas in places that haven't even seen Sean yet. And, you know, with the transformation that we want to see in Memphis, it's going to come from individuals like us having ideas, having the resources, where when we get this, we're able to be a part of that change. And it's not people that's like, okay, we done got all of them out of the city, now let's go change it. It's like, no, we here, we're changing it. And then when that narrative change, we'll be the people that's behind it while it's changing.
And this is a very extreme. We are a good Christian people in here. You know what I'm saying? Like we all come from a black church background. You know what I'm saying? I heard this lady speak and say, you can go to hell for not fulfilling your purpose. We talk about all of the main things that you might be able to go to hell for, was killing, stealing, blah, blah, blah. You know, the 10 Commandments, all that. We focus on that. But if God put you here to do something specific, you had a task, and you didn't fulfill that, you can be punished for not fulfilling your purpose. And I feel like for the last like 5-6 years, I've been like searching for like, bro, what am I supposed to be doing?
So I'm not gonna go to that extent to say you will go to hell for not fulfilling your purpose. But I will say this though, the Bible talks about that if we don't worship Him,
it's a level of disobedience.
But the Bible talks about if we don't worship Him, that the rocks will cry out and worship Him. I have this saying, and I was praying to God. I was like, God, do not let me be like the children of Israel. You know, the children of Israel, it took them 40 years, that a trip that really was supposed to be 11 days. That's how far they were from the promised land. Let me re-say that. It took 40 years for a trip that was supposed to be 11 days. How many of us are comfortable in our wilderness? They were fed in their wilderness. They had houses. They had a whole community in their wilderness. And God, like, but the promised land is filled with milk and honey. What I created for you is over here. But you're comfortable where you are. And so I do believe that, where it's like, no, generations will pass away for things that we aren't doing that we are called to do. I do believe that. But also I do believe, and I'm even the type of person where it's like, bro, I have a strong faith background, but I rarely talk about it on the media. because I am a firm believer that I don't have a hell or heaven to put you in.
Yeah.
But the way I live my life, my goal is that when you encounter me, you see God.
Yeah.
And then when you see God, you go chase him for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, even when I'm having conversations with individuals, it's like, I'm not going to tell you, I have associates that are atheists as well as just gave their life to Christ. And I talk to them in a manner of, it's like, no, life presents itself where you have to choose God for yourself.
Yeah.
And the Bible teaches you that if you don't answer the call, God will legit bring somebody else to get what he has purposed for you.
Yeah.
And also, to piggyback on what the woman had said to you, maybe the hell isn't a physical hell. Maybe the hell is living in a life where you're not fulfilling your purpose.
Yeah.
You're not fulfilled. So it's like, you might be where you need to be or whatever. But since you had set aside so long and was like, you know what, and you never did what you were supposed to do, the hell is watching somebody else live the life that God had intended for you.
Yeah. I could agree with that. I think that I don't get, like you said, the physical hell. I don't necessarily get attached to the idea of hell. You know what I'm saying? Like you just explained, hell could be relative. Hell could be whatever your perspective of what hell is. But it helped me or changed me in the sense of God could literally put you here to do something and you could be disobeying to do exactly. My mom talks all the time about her disowning her I'm using the wrong term, but like not wanting to accept her call to be a pastor. She said that like she never wanted to really be a pastor, you know what I'm saying? Like that was never something she like wanted for herself, but she always felt this like urge to be that. You feel what I'm saying? She was like, she would pray like, God, don't put that on me, like that's not what I want for my life, blah blah blah. And she was like, she literally got to a point where like she couldn't disown it no more. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like it was something that she had to do. You feel what I'm saying? And so I feel like if she continued to go her life without answering that call, like you said, that could be her hell of you'll never feel satisfied in this lifetime because you're being disobedient. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're not accepting the call that God is putting out for you. So like you said, hell is relative, and you know what I'm saying, I definitely don't want to speak that onto people because I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in.
But I for sure understood what she was saying to you. And then also with disobedience comes whatever that punishment looks like. And that punishment could be something, you know, not having a peace of mind. Yeah. Or not being able to be like, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to walk into. Which, bro, I went to this conference and the lady was talking about fear, and she had said sometimes the things that we are most fearful of is what we should chase. But oftentimes we don't chase it because we're fearful of it.
I got a crazy
And I noticed myself doing this. Sometimes, bro, I'll be like, I have this idea and I hold it like it's my baby. Yeah. Because I am fearful of it not working how I intended it for it to happen. Yeah. Where in actuality, bro, it's like, no, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. A lot of people say like, I only fear God. And it's like, if I really do, then I know that this vision that he put inside of me, this version. Way more courageous. It's like, you know what? I'm going to try this out, God. And also, if it doesn't work, I'm going to have the peace of mind of being like, you know what? I tried this. And now, kind of based on back how we talk about relationships or missed shots, it's like, okay, this one missed. Yeah. So now it is allowing the opportunity for me to do what you have for me to do. Yeah. And I think that's the purpose, where it's like all of us are moving towards God. What do you have for me to do? Yeah. And yeah. But also like even with the last point, with God being the center of like, you know, your life or like center of your decision making, I know there was something I thought that would be cool to end on. Yeah. So you actually just said something, you like the things that we are supposed to go through. I'm misquoting you, but you said something to the effect of like the things that we're afraid to go through are the very things that we should be trying to go through or whatever. And I used to be like extremely afraid to die, bro. You know what I'm saying? I used to be extremely afraid of death. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that being in the military and going overseas and shit like that helped change my perspective. But the biggest thing that helped change my perspective was just that, like, bro, you can't go to heaven without dying. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like the thing that
the most precious thing that God and Jesus offered to us or told us was there for us is on the other side of death. Mm-hmm. Why would I be afraid to leave? Being in the wilderness for 40 years when it should only take 11 days. Why would I be so scared to leave here when this is not the most precious thing that's offered to me? The most precious thing that's offered to me is on the other side of leaving here. Right. So why am I so attached to here? You know what I'm saying? That changed my perspective on like death, where it's like, shit, I'm ready to die. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when that time comes after I'm done with my journey here, I'm going to embrace it rather than feeling like, oh, I want to stay.
Man, the realest thing is I talked to my uncle. He was 90. He passed away at 99. Mm-hmm. But I talked to him at 96. He was the oldest of, I think it's 13 siblings. And so he was seeing a lot of them pass away. Yeah. And I walked up to him and I said, how does it feel? He was like looking at my auntie in the casket, my great auntie in the casket. And I was like, did it go by fast? Because you hear 50-year-olds and different people, they be like, you better take your time. Don't be trying to age fast. Yeah. So they be like, man, you time going by so fast, right? And the best thing, bro, that he said to me at 96, he looked at me and he said, Sean, I had a beautiful life. Yeah. And he was like, I lived it to the fullest and I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even answer or regard. He didn't even like acknowledge that I asked, did it happen fast? Yeah. And I think that's the thing. It's like with death, the fear is the unknown. Mm-hmm. It's like you have faith of knowing what happens after. Yeah. But still, until you do it, all of us in the land of the living do not know what happens. Yeah. Right? But while I am here, I don't want to dwell on like time or dwell on, it's like, God, if you give me a long life, I want to be able to assure a younger man to model himself the way I did or experience life the way I did. Yeah. To that way that when he doesn't look fearful of aging or he looks at it as like it's blissful or it's a blessing to age or he looks at it like, you know what? I want to age gracefully the way this man is that's talking to me compared to me trying to impose fear into him. I think that's the thing. We are all products of what we have heard and seen. Yeah. So a lot of times death is what is surrounded by us. Most time when somebody died, we revisit it. And so then the death affects the living more than obviously the dead person. For sure. So we look at the way they passed away or we look at, different things. And so now it's affecting me while I'm living. Now I'm creating that fear behind it.
You know what's so crazy, Brett? And I know this might be controversial. It might not be, but I don't necessarily believe in funerals.
Why not? I know a lot of folks that don't. So I would love to hear your perspective. I do.
It's such a... It's more for the people that are alive.
It definitely is. It 100% is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm not going to say 100% because my mom thinks something different, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it... How can I put this shit, bro? I think that, like, the whole... First of all, the idea of a funeral is 100% based in consumerism, especially in America. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. It don't cost $20,000 to put somebody in the hole, bro. It don't. On no country, on no planet do it cost that. You feel what I'm saying? So I think the whole idea of it kind of goes back to the whole like buying your wife a ring for marriage thing. I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I saw somewhere that the whole idea behind buying your wife a wedding ring was because American jewelers had no way of explaining the value of a diamond to other Americans. So he came up as a marketing tactic. If you love your wife, buy her a diamond ring. So the tradition of buying a diamond ring for a marriage came from a diamond salesman trying to figure out a way to market his diamond rings. It worked, didn't it? And so it's like this idea of you gotta have a funeral for your loved one and this, that, and the third. First and foremost, we as black people for sure, and I think people in general, the way that America fucks us when it comes to taxes and all that shit, we all should be burying our parents in our fucking backyard. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Turn these houses into some grave sites. Some cemeteries. You know what I'm saying? Some cemeteries. Get that shit tax free. Bury mama and daddy back there and the dog. You feel what I'm saying? Like
my dog back there.
R.I.P. Zeus, bro.
Man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I think the whole idea around having an American traditional funeral is more so for the people that are alive and is more so based in consumerism.
So I agree with that. But I also want to say this before we even get into it. Y'all, it is good to not always agree with the individual that you're talking to. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't change just because y'all don't agree on certain things.
Yeah.
But also, I think life experiences give us different perspectives.
And just because I feel something doesn't mean I won't participate in a funeral.
Exactly.
I will for sure go to a funeral.
Right, exactly.
I just feel how I feel.
So this is my thing, the way I look at it, and I think 100% what I do agree on with you is that it is for the people, right? Yeah. But you remember when I mentioned earlier in the pod, I had said I was introduced to death at 5 years old. My dad said, "Hey, Sean, your grandfather, you ain't gonna see him for a while. Go over there, kiss him, etc." Mm-hmm. But as I matured, my dad talked more about that experience.
Yeah.
And my dad said, I honored my father so much that I stood next to his casket. So first of all, my dad went there early to make sure that his suit was good and his casket was good and his hair was good. He made sure everything was straight. And he matched them. And even at the wake, when people come, so from 6 to 9, my daddy stood, and my dad is a veteran, mm-hmm. but he stood next to his father from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
It was out of respect to his father to be like, you know what? My dad stood next to me for 31 years. Mm-hmm. For these 3 hours, I'm going to stand next to him. He said he didn't know that all the individuals that were coming to pay their respect to my grandfather actually fed my father. Meaning this, my dad was sitting there, they'll see my grandfather, then they'll say, do you know who your daddy was? Mm-hmm. Do you know this time my lights got cut off? Your dad paid the bill for my lights to still be on.
Yeah.
Do you know that my son was in prison and your dad went down and talked to them folks and they released him?
Yeah.
He came at 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife had a car accident. They didn't have phones back then. He did X, Y, and Z to make sure I knew that my family was safe. Mm-hmm. And my dad was like, I didn't even know that my dad affected this many people.
Yeah.
So when I go to funerals, it's 100% for the people that still are living because they are mourning. Mm-hmm. And if I have a story to share, who am I to only keep that relationship, those stories to myself?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I walk up to a young man, he just lost his father, and I say, man, your dad was a good man. He said X, Y, and Z to me, or, you know, when I had a question, he did this, or I was in a bind, he helped me out. I don't know what they did, but it kind of go back to like purpose and like what life is. And it's like, God did not create us to be here alone. For sure. You know, and with social media, with our design, we think that we have even compartmentalized extroverts and introverts. Mm-hmm. And yes, I can be an introverted person, but that doesn't mean I don't need to have encounters with humans.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. So it's like, nah, do I think that the concept of what funerals are and the money that's in it, I think everything is a business. Mm-hmm. Even, you know what I'm saying? But also I do think that if I am going there or if I'm talking to these individuals or if I am there for a certain purpose, mm-hmm. even if I'm there to purpose just to pay my respect,
yeah,
I'm looking at an individual that after this day, they're going to spend the rest of their life without the person that they love on, that's a part of their life.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, their new reality starts. Mm-hmm. So at least today, I can be like, you know what? No, I love this person.
Yeah.
So you should be able to see that. You know what? Sean showed up for this person. Like we lost a high school friend, and when we lost a high school friend, it was a shock. Like I have a group message with about 30 friends in it from high school, mm-hmm. and I only went to Germantown for 1 year, but they're my closest friends. And one of our friends passed away, and in that moment, them folks legit like. We collected money. We sent flowers to their mom, mm-hmm. and we all like wore the colors, and we were there. We didn't talk or nothing, but we showed support to show their mom. We was like, nah, we here because we loved her that much.
Yeah.
So we want you to see that we loved her that much.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And so the way I look at funerals, bro, it's like even if I don't want to see the person like that, 'cause I know some people be like, I don't want to see them like that. I want to remember them how they are.
Yeah, I don't ever view the body when I go to funerals.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, no, I might not do that for that. But it's just like, man, you know, and everyone will die. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if I have a close friend, bro, and they passed away, no, I'm going to hug their mama, and I'm going to let their mama know, like, if she needs anything, I'm here. And because I love that person, I'm going to stand on their word for sure. Yeah,
my great-grandmother just passed like 3 months ago. And, like I just couldn't, like, I was just cool. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't, well, not even that I feel, it's a fact, like, the person isn't in there. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather look at a picture of you when you were full of life. I want a closed casket funeral because I would hate for my friends and family's last image of me to be a dead shell of myself. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's just like when it comes to funerals, like I don't want the last time I looked at you to be a lifeless body.
What's the closest thing, like, far as like death wise, that you have experienced?
Like the closest person to me?
Yeah, just like that experience. Like what brought you to like the realization of like mourning and like when that thing died, like how did that feel? Like what was it to you?
I don't know if it was ever like a specific moment that I can pinpoint. I do know I remember feeling some type of way when both of my uncles and my grandfather passed away on my dad's side. And I realized that he's the only living male from his household that he grew up in. And I was just like, damn, like, I kind of want to ask him, like, even to this day, I want to ask him, like, bro, how does it feel?
The real conversation that
yeah, like, how does it feel to, like, realize that the circle is shrinking? You feel what I'm saying? And it's like,
dang, that's real.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bro, I'm getting emotional.
Nah, bro. Nah, same. I was getting emotional when we was talking.
Yeah, so it's like that realization that like you're the last leg of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Nah, it's real. And the reason why I had asked you that was because even with like just recently, we just finished the trial for my little cousin. And when he passed, I actually was on the scene. He called me probably 45 minutes before it happened. And when it had happened, that was like real life to me. You know what I'm saying? And in that moment, when I saw it, I probably cried for like 2 months after that. And then I messed around and got Zeus. Yeah. So then when I got Zeus, people saw me post my dog all the time. Yeah. I didn't realize that I was connecting when I had when Zeus had finally, I had him and I was walking around with him and I was taking pictures with him, and I didn't realize that he was filling a void of something that I was mourning that I never addressed. So my little cousin, when he passed away, he literally was like a little brother to me. He was everything to me. Yeah. And I cried, and it seemed like nobody was hearing me crying. Like I'd go run, crying. When I was in the car, I would break down, I would cry. And then when I got this dog, instead of me crying, instead of me being in my house just crying by myself, I was like, I can go walk him. Yeah. He can always be with me. And the reason why I had asked about, like, when you were saying, like, the shell part, right? Even with the living, bruh, I went through the part of Zeus passing away and putting him down, like, with the doctor giving him his, like, she was giving him the different medicines, and we were laying on the floor. And the realization of knowing he was gone, that happened. But me holding what he represented was, I can't even explain it. And I know it's a dog, but it presented what I had lost when I got him. I was mourning him, but I was mourning my little cousin when he was behind the sheet and they wouldn't let me get to him. And then when my other little cousin was looking out the door and my other cousin was on the way to the Regional 1, he presented all of that. And so it's like, I think the scope of what death is and how it affects us is like that shell. I closed my eyes, bro, and I couldn't control my crying because I started remembering what this shell did for me when it was alive. Yeah. And so, like, yeah, the spirit is gone, but my spirit's still here. I'm still mourning this. So even that's the reason why sometimes I understand, like, when funerals happen or things of that nature, and they want to make sure that their loved one is presented a certain way, or they want to make sure that this person looks a certain way. Yeah. It's not so much that, oh, I think you still here. It's more so about what this shell has done for me. Yeah. And then in that moment when I am mourning this, I start going down memory lane. I start going down that grandmama used to make this macaroni and cheese that tasted this way. And my uncle used to dress a certain way, and he had, his cologne smelled like this. And oh, my uncle got his cufflinks on, and I used to admire that he always ironed his clothes. Yeah. I could pop up on my uncle on a Tuesday, and he off work. Yeah. And his clothes starched, and his haircut. Yeah. Because he was that type of man. For sure. And so it's like, even though the spirit is gone and it's absent from the body, I'm still here. So I'm referencing what he was. Yeah. Not saying that I'm referencing the actual thing. But I do want to say, bro, thank you for being open and transparent with your emotions on what you've experienced and mourning.
For sure.
And then also, like my dad being the youngest of kids, I see when a sibling pass away, the toll it takes on them.
Yeah.
And I think the importance is having those conversations. You had mentioned, you said, knowing that my dad is the last one, I should talk to him and see how to make him feel. Mm-hmm. And my dad's father passing away almost like 25 years ago. One time we was in the car and I said, Daddy, do you miss Granddaddy? Like, talk to me about him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who gonna ask them that? Like, as a man, who gonna ask me about my daddy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, as a son, that's my responsibility. Or as a son, that's your responsibility to be like, Pops, how you feel about this?
Yeah.
Your brothers passed away. Tell me about them. What you miss about them? Yeah. Like, when was the last time somebody asked you about that? Mm-hmm. Because we talk about it, and we talk about it as men. We talked about that women are more like how their relationships fizzle out because they're emotional or because how involved they are.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it as men. It's like, I know Mike doing good over there, so it's like, long as Mike doing good in his area, I'm doing good in my area.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about this. Sean is battling certain things that nobody is checking on me on because I'm a man. And it's like, you know, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, having those conversations, the tough ones that we feel like are awkward.
Yeah.
About mourning, about life is real.
Sometimes it's us. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's us too. Like that idea of shit, if I'm really am having a tough time, shit, hey Sean, like, can you rap real quick? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't necessarily do that all the time either. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, shit, like, it's not always on necessarily somebody outside of you to recognize this. Sometimes you just got to put your ego aside and be like, hey, like, I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying?
And are we creating those safe spaces for our friends to be able to feel like they can come there? Like, I have a friend that's close to me, bro, but to be real, we have only hung out to go out. We have only hung out to, like, you know, get a drink or something like that. Yeah. But it's like, how many relationships do we have that we feel like we can call their partner and be like, bro, I need to talk. I need to get this off my chest.
I was about to say, like, I think, once again, like, that is friend group to friend group. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I think that if you don't have that, you probably need to reevaluate your friend group.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have at least one person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably should reevaluate that. But I think that... I think most of us, I would feel comfortable saying most of us have at least one person we can do that with.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think most of it, I know with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I go through certain shit, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, I was told you about my homeboy who asked me about something. I was like, nah, like, I had a bad experience with that. I just didn't say shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that for me personally comes from me being like an only child. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I thought about the other day, I was like, man, some of the toughest shit that I've had to go through in my life, I went through by myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my, like, core memories was I was fresh in the military and I was like 18 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like, didn't know shit about money or credit, none of that shit or whatever. And I had a moment within my first year of being in the military where I had $0 in my bank account. And it was going to be like another 4 or 5 days till I got paid again. And the shame of that wouldn't even let me reach out to my parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a moment that I had by myself or whatever, but it was just like, you needed that, but I also probably should have reached out. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, like, just those moments like that where, like, you as a man, you have a direction you can go. Shit, you can take this one on the chin and go through it by yourself, or you can reach out and lean on somebody. You feel what I'm saying?
And a lot of times, I think we have conditioned ourselves to feel like we have to be the one to just take it on the chin. Mm-hmm. I feel like even several men that's listening to this might be in the position of with $0 in their account. Yeah. Bro, make that call, bro. Yeah. You feel me? Because going through it alone, I saw a friend and he accidentally killed himself. Like, literally accidentally killed himself. And everyone in the comments was like, man, I wish you would have called me, bro. Or I didn't even know nothing was going on with you. Yeah. And I think the thing to notice is no one that has killed themselves has done it before. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't know what switches or what happens to make somebody get to a point where they're like, you know what, I cannot do this no more. Yeah. And even if you reach out to everybody and they can't help you, it's like it allows you to say that I reached out to everybody compared to me holding this weight by myself. Because like I had stated, bro, life ain't created for us to go through it alone.
Yeah.
It's not created for us to not have these experiences, not have friends, not have relationships. It's meant for us to, you know, live and experience things. We're going to go through our lows.
Yeah.
But also, you know, we'll know when we go to our ups how to handle those things as well.
For sure.
Well, brother, it's been good.
I think we got to end it, bro.
We do got to end it, for sure.
Because if we talk anymore, I'm going to cry again, bro, and I don't want to cry. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, this is the first episode of The Lead Wolf. I'm Michael Wolf. This is Sean. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all again.